Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. It's the author, and you're joining me for the Fast 15. As you guys know, on Wednesdays, usually about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we take a few moments to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy a note from any of the books or audiobooks, close out with a couple of announcements, and get you on your day. As you know, when life is lifing, you may not be able to wait until the next day, and I'm a testimony of it. Sometimes I can't wait till the end of the day or the next day to get my pause or pick me up. So hopefully this allows that opportunity for your colleagues, things along those lines. So stay connected with me on the gram, and things of that nature. Any of the book signings, the coffee collaboration with Fonte's Coffee, um, archival editions of the Conversation Corner on the Status Network, and other great stuff. So definitely make sure to check us out. So before we get into our topic for the day, as I always start off, you always want to acknowledge people who aren't doing well. We know that life has its set of challenges: physical, mental, spiritual, financial, and all those types of things. So if you or someone you know is going through a challenging time, definitely providing words of encouragement. And I'll say this: sometimes when you're pausing and rebooting, you may do things a little bit differently than what people are used to. Sometimes you do have to self isolate. Seriously, sometimes you do. And people don't always get it. But whether you self isolate for a little bit, you get the professional help that you need, you just try to change up your routine, things along those lines. Identify constructive means. That's something that's real important, because it's very easy when things aren't going well to be in a clouded state of mind. And I've been guilty of it at times. When your mind state is clouded, you can make some real bad decisions. So for people who are going through that, we're definitely sending a word of encouragement. By the same token, a word of celebration for people who are doing well, in those same lenses: physical, spiritual, financial, just positive things. Things are going your way. You're starting to spin the block or turn the corner. So if that sounds like you or someone congratulations. Continue to celebrate those things, and feed off the positive energy. Definitely shout out, people who are, not doing well. And like I said, just feed off the positive energy and use that to help get you prepared for what's next. So those are our notes and words of encouragement that we always try to do each and every time. So I'm going to pull something from the second book that I wrote, 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. These are all testimonies from individuals who share what their biggest daily challenges and what they do to basically still live positive lives. So not only through the lens of their respective faith, but what are some best practices in health and wellness that they're doing, how they utilize their support network, and how they change their way of thinking that they still live positive and powerful lives. So what I'm going to do is pull a segment from, oh gosh, which chapter am I going to use today? Because there's a lot of good ones in here. I'm going to use this classic chapter, chapter 5, Floyd Mayweather versus Jerry Cooney. And this speaks to living with and living through the hurdles of mental health. And I want to read this particular passage from this chapter, and here it goes. At times, I sometimes struggle with who I am. I live with understanding what belongs to me and what belongs to my illness. At times, I sometimes struggle with who I am. I live with the understanding what belongs to me and what belongs to my illness. That's really powerful, because there's some things you have to let go of. There's some things that, and we've heard this in spiritual circles, the battle is not yours. And identifying what you have ownership of and what you have to let go and release of is very powerful. That's not only just for mental health, but in general. Like, sometimes you always feel like if we're not constantly moving or constantly have our hands on something, that we're not doing anything or we're not in control. But sometimes it's understanding what to take hold of and what to let go of. So even in the midst of living with and living through mental illness, this particular testimony is definitely transferable. So that's something that we want to build on. Chapter 5, Floyd Mayweather versus Jerry Cooney. If you don't know who those names are, look them up. And definitely, if you haven't gotten this, look up 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. Okay, a couple of quick things as we get ready to wind down a little bit early. Check out the social media. There's going to be an announcement on a roundtable discussion that I'll be a part of thanks to Black Writers Workspace. That info should be posted during the day today, March 26th, but worst case, March 27th. But make sure to check us out, Black Writers Workspace with our pen posse. It's an amazing experience. I've been able to do a few of these. I've learned some things from fellow authors. So find out about the topics and things along those lines. We'll be posting that info. April 19th, Conyers, Georgia. Join me at the Conyers Book Festival. That'll be from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. So long day. Thankfully, I got a tent, but make sure to check that out. The information has gone out in the newsletter and will continue to go out. Obviously, get a bag or cup of really good coffee with our collaboration with Fonte's Coffee with the AuthorASnorton blend. We have the decaf, which is a dark roast, a light roast, a medium roast, and of course, everyone's favorite, the bourbon infused. So remember, the alcohol gets burned off in the roasting process, but definitely want to check that out. Shouts to the amazing people at Fonte's Coffee. Shouts to the amazing people at Status Network. Thank you for your patience. Working out a couple more kinks, but we are definitely going to make sure that we ease back in to the conversation corner, as definitely there's a lot of topics for conversation. Just shouts to all the bookstores, book clubs, readers, events, festivals. Thank you so much for your encouragement and support. And again, please, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we know ordering online makes a lot of convenience, but please check out your independent bookstores. They give authors like me, and really authors in general, an opportunity. So, and we want to see independent bookstores flourish, especially with the current landscape where so much in regards to access to resources and building up your literacy and learning are being manipulated in a very negative manner. Please support your independent bookstores. Seriously, please make sure to do so. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We know it's early spring. Take your allergy medicine. I know I've got to, but just definitely be safe as you're out and about, and you know, do what you can just to try to maintain your physical, mental, spiritual. I for one can tell you that challenges are going to happen. And some challenges really will throttle you and have you moving a little bit differently, or people may not understand how or why, but the big picture is we're all here for a reason and a purpose. So let's make sure, as they say, our steps are ordered and we can just leave a positive footprint and leave things a little bit better than how we got them. So in that spirit, in that note, I pray and trust all of you have a great day, a great week. Looking forward to connecting with you virtually and in person over the next couple of days. And in closing out, whether small or big, a victory is a victory, whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Keep it victorious. Keep it moving. All of you take very good care. Talk to you soon.